Katzcradul here. Here's the back fence to the small part of our garden, and I'm standing in the neighbor's yard. We have planted, there's the big tower for my husband's ham radio antenna, but we've planted a couple of raspberry plants under the windows there. They're really thorny, and I like the idea of having that covered with raspberries there. What I want to show you is I've come into the neighbor's yard. Our neighbor is a 70-year-old bachelor. He's lived here all his life, and he's somewhat disabled. And when we moved here, my husband had a little grape vine rooting that he got from a neighbor, and when we were packing up, he said, "I'm going to take that with us to our new location." He had just planted. I said, "Don't dig it up. That'll never make the move." And he just insisted on it, and he carefully nursed that plant to our new location. And when we got here, he planted it in our yard. We had a terrible storm come through and knock down the fence, and we needed to put up a new fence. And that little grapevine was in the way, so he dug it up once again, and he came to the neighbors. He saw these big poles here going toward his back door, and he made a proposition. He said, "If you'll let me plant my grapevine in your yard and let it run up on your poles," he said, "I'll put some fencing up so it can climb on the top of them, then we will give you some of the jelly we make out of those grapes." And the man said, "Sure, no problem, that's great." He said, "In fact, that's what my parents used to use this for, was they grew grapes all over here, over this sidewalk going in the back door." So that's what we did. My husband did. He put that little grapevine here, and we've only been here 4 years, and it's going crazy. We made grape jelly off of it last year that is delicious. And look at the fruit on it this year. It's just loaded with these gorgeous grapes. I'll go under here a little bit so you can see. How beautiful is that? Nice big clusters and big grapes. Look under here. It's just lovely. I love to come and look at it. All up in there. We're going to have some wonderful grape jam this year, and my neighbor will be so glad to get it. So that's just a recommendation. If you run out of room, bargain with your neighbors. See if you can raise some food on their property, and be willing to share it with them a little bit. How beautiful those grapes are. I'll show you something else too. Let me go to the back of my house.
Prep Ray here, helping my mom, Katzcradul. This is the part of the fence you just saw when we pointed from the neighbors. And if you round the corner here, when we give a garden update and you see the cucumbers growing on the cattle panel, then this is the back side of that fence. So this is behind our house. You see our workshop back there. And this is a utility truck easement. When the storm came through that Katzcradul talked about, they had to get to this pole. You see where they just cut it off and put the new pole in. And that's the only time we've seen the truck back here. And so Pallet and Prepper and Katzcradul, my dad and Mom, decided we should plant back here. So it didn't really matter if the trucks ran over the plants, because, well, it only cost the cost of a couple of seeds. So what we have here, what you're looking at right here, is actually some watermelon seeds that came from watermelon that we had last year. And we thought that it was a hybrid watermelon, but we were still going to try to plant. And actually, as you can see, it came up and it's producing beautiful flowers, and we have great little watermelons on here. So we planted 3 watermelon plants here. But we're super excited because right here, as you can see, there is a big old watermelon. Oh
Beautiful.
yeah.
Beautiful.
Alright, and this looks like cucumbers, but it's not a cucumber. We have 3 plants that are actually cantaloupe. We have cantaloupe, and then...
Looks like you have some more watermelon growing over there, Prepper, eh?
Yep, there's some watermelon there. And if you look at that post right there, there's actually a raspberry plant there.
Isn't that great?
Because raspberries shot up all around our old raspberry plant that we have.
Yeah, we had to move some of the upshoots, didn't we? So, yeah, if a truck has to come through here, which is very doubtful, then it just comes through here, and we haven't really lost anything. But what a great place for, we've got plenty of space for the watermelon to cover ground back here, and it's out of the way, and it's not growing in my garden. I told Prepper A and Paladin Prepper that they weren't going to plant watermelon or any kind of melons in my yard because it took up too much space, and I needed things that I could can. So they're just going to let them grow and ramble back here, and there's little watermelons all over this thing. So think about your space and use it the best way you can, and negotiate with your neighbors if you don't have much room, and they may be happy to let you beautify their yard and tend it and share the harvest with them. That's all for now. Katzcradul.
And Prepper A.